Thousands of young men and women had taken the boat to England in search of jobs. Signposts were notoriously unreliable. With nothing better to do, the local youngsters who remained behind often turned road signs to point in the wrong direction. The unwary driver could go miles out of his way before discovering his mistake. Finbar Lewis Halloran needed no signposts to County Clare. The map was imprinted on the marrow of his bones. By the time he turned into the country lane leading off the Ennis road, dawn was breaking. A sullen, crimson dawn for the last day of January 1972. "Red sky at night, farmer's delight," Barry muttered to himself. "Red sky at morning, farmers take warning." Take warning, his tired brain echoed. Ancient hedgerows of furze and white thorn rose like walls on either side of the laneway. Deep ruts held automobile tires to the track. Once committed, the driver had no choice but to follow the lane to the end. After a few 100 yards, it came to a substantial farmhouse, flanked by barns and outbuildings. Within easy sight from the house, a large paddock waited to receive the brood mares, heavy with foal, who would be turned out later in the morning. "Everything looks the same. Thank God, it always looks the same." Barry could feel knots loosening in the pit of his stomach. Built of local stone in the 18th century, the original tiny cottage had been altered repeatedly by successive generations of Hallorans. The house now comprised 2 full stories, with a steeply pitched slate roof, bracketed by brick chimneys. In a rare fit of domesticity, Ursula Halloran had built an extension off the kitchen to hold an array of modern appliances, such as a washing machine and a freezer chest. She never got around to buying them. The space had become a catch-all for muddy boots and a haven for orphan farm animals. Ursula referred to it as the nursery. Barry slammed on the brakes and hurled himself from the car like a giant spring uncoiling. He was very tall, and the leg space beneath the dashboard was insufficient. The long drive had caused his damaged leg to stiffen. When he stood upright, a spear of pain shot through the muscles. A swift intake of breath, a momentary closing of eyes. Then it was over. 2 long strides carried him to the house. A light was burning in the parlour to the left of the hall. As he ran past, Barry glimpsed the huddled figure of his mother in her favourite armchair, where she sometimes fell asleep, listening to the late news on the radio. He took the stairs 3 at a time, raced to his room, flung open the door, threw himself on his knees beside the bed, and fumbled beneath the mattress, inhaled the dusty scent of feathers and ticking, and linen bleached in the sun, grasped the polished stock of Ned Halloran's old rifle. A woman said from the doorway, "Thank God you're all right. When I rang your house in Dublin, Barbara told me where you'd gone. What just happened in Derry is all over the news. RTE even interrupted its regular programming. I've been terrified." The haggard man stood up with a rifle in his hands. "You've never been terrified in your life, Ursula." His deep baritone voice was hoarse with weariness. "That's all you know. What happened?" "I don't think I can talk about it, not yet. Please, Barry." Reluctantly, he dragged out the words that made it all real again. "When the Civil Rights March formed up in the Cregan, I was there with my cameras. A great opportunity for photojournalism, I thought. Images of hope in Northern Ireland after all these years. People came in the thousands, even from the Republic. Men and women, boys and girls. It was more like a huge picnic than a protest rally. They brought food, their children, even their dogs. There was a lot of laughter and optimism. By the time they moved out, the marchers were singing." His voice dropped to a harsh whisper.